What is up, guys? ThePartyKnife here. And in today's video, I'm gonna show you guys how I work out. You don't get guns like these. Fingers, I guess, without working out once in a while. So the past 2 nights, I have indeed been spending something like 8 hours straight, 2 nights in a row, just doing Shade True Solo. Nothing else, just 8 hours. Because I'm not gonna lie, recently hadn't been playing a lot, felt a little bit like a scrub after I accidentally died in a legend game quick play, and I was like, bruh, we need to do something about this. We need to do it now. So today, we're gonna take a look at how the ThePartyKnife works out. Now, unlike normally, in order to make the editing slightly easier, I shall indeed be applying the headset. Which, you know, not gonna lie, kinda makes me look a little bit like an airline pilot. Good afternoon, passengers. This is your captain speaking. First, I'd like to welcome everyone on board Dagger Flight 69B. We are currently cruising at an altitude of 33,000 feet, flying at an airspeed of 400 miles per hour. The time is 1:25 p.m. local time, and the weather looks good with a tailwind on our side, so you can be expecting to land in the gym at roughly speaking 15 minutes ahead of schedule. Anyways, the cabin crew will be coming around and serving you beverages in about 25 minutes. Shortly after, I'll talk to you again before reaching our destination. Until then, sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the flight. And thank you for flying Dagger Airways.
A few moments later.
And so what we're gonna look at today is some Dark Omens kata and some Fort Bracksenbrücke kata. True Solo. The build is just a regular cooldown reduction shade. So I'm using Vanish cooldown reduction. I'm using 10 HP on kills, crit chance, block cost, swift slaying on my sword and dagger. I believe power versus armored and scaling with barrage on my moonfire bow. Health, block cost reduction on the necklace with bark skin, crit chance stamina recovery with, I believe, shrapnel in this case. On the trinket and on the charm, I'm using concoction, attack speed, and I believe chaos. I would often be using Skaven, but I felt like this wasn't the first run, right? I felt like I kept being bothered a lot by goddamn beastie gores, so I decided I was gonna take a little bit more chaos damage, also just for chaos hordes, chaos trash minions in general. They are the worst when you solo. Beastmen, specifically. Beastmen, trash minions are but also beastie gores. Not because they're hard to fight individually, but sometimes when they appear as part of the ambient spawns, or even just like as part of a horde, sometimes it's the worst, okay? Because if you have multiple ones in a position where you're forced to move one direction, right? It can be very hard to time that dodge. You don't always have the luxury of that information. And often what it does, the way it often kills you, as we're gonna see in a different clip later, is that it will hit you right as you try to dodge an assassin, for example, or right before, right? So you get stunned, you can't dodge, the assassin hits you. Now, as far as True Solo goes here, I'm not just trying to speedrun it, right? I'm actually trying to beat it in a normal way, right? Because it's practice. So there's a difference there between what I might do if I was just, you know, speedrunning it and what I'm doing here. But the trick here in a True Solo, or even just in a clutch capacity when you're one-on-one with a boss, it obviously depends on what boss we're talking about. I had a very similar run to this, except it was a troll. And for 4 minutes straight, right, like I got the troll to half HP, And then as soon as I got it to half HP, I had a bunch of special spawns, assassins, stranglers, and just a horde of enemies that I had to clear. Meanwhile, the troll was regenerating all its HP back up, right? And I tried for 4 minutes straight to get it like some amount of damage in. I used all the items available in this first area of the map, like every single one, right? And still, the troll had only lost like 20% of its HP, and at a certain point I was out of healing, I was out of items, and yeah, I just got overwhelmed. But obviously with the Chaos Spawn, what you want to do here is you want to be a bit conservative. You want to use your primary source of damage here, it's actually your Moonfire Bow, because the ultimate talent I have is not really suitable for boss damage versus a Chaos Spawn. It's great versus a troll, where you can just, you know, juke around it as you're attacking it. You can't do that with a Chaos Spawn. At least not whilst there are other minions to deal with as well. So really the safe thing to do here is keep your ulti for when that special spawn spawns, because it will. In like when you do True Solo like this, there will be assassin and strangler spawns in the middle of the boss fight on multiple occasions. Don't assume that just because you killed 2 specials, oh, that's great, now I got the boss one-on-one. No. That's not how that works. You will have... Oh, that was actually an interesting thing there. You will have multiple special spawns. And what happened just there was kind of interesting. It was a mixture of a good idea and luck, right? So I'm pretty sure that I had the dodge ready there. But in case that I might have missed the timing, it was great that the Chaos Spawn actually took out the Strangler at the end. So again, just slow and steady wins the race here, right? If this was a Stormfield, then you might have used the Stormfield to help you clear everything out first. The problem here with clearing is by the time I clear everything out, I have like almost no time in between then to do damage, right? With the Stormfield, you have help to clear all the trash out, which means you can actually take that luxury. With a Minotaur, for example, you would do something very similar to that of a Chaos Spawn, albeit in a slightly different pattern, because you have the problem with the Minotaur that if you get too far away, it will charge you, which again is dangerous, not just because of the damage of the charge, but because it can stun you versus an assassin, for example, right? And for that reason, you want to be even more conservative with a Minotaur. A Rat Orc is a bit easier to control. It's also a bit easier to DPS as far as using this ulti talent. But here it was a Chaos Spawn, right? And a lot of it is about movement. You want to know your goal, right? So when you know you have a boss spawn in the area, like before you kill that boss, right? So before I had killed that Chaos Spawn, any item that I found and already had an item off, right? So if I had a healing, a potion, and a bomb, and I found during that run a healing and a potion and a bomb before the boss spawn, I would not have wasted any of them. I would have left them there, kept a mental check mark for that potential boss fight. But as soon as the boss is dead and I know that I'm gonna move past the point of no return, then I might as well waste the items, like, you know, even just to get a bit of health. But you don't want to do that until you know for a fact that you don't have that boss fight, because that's gonna help your ass a lot in the boss fight. Same thing with barrels and stuff like that. Barrels can be a lifesaver, okay, in True Solo, a lifesaver. And to be honest, I hadn't seen that, hadn't noticed that storm. That screwed me over a little bit. Managed to get through here. Again, this is a great spawn for fire, right? It's a good spot to use that fire, because they have an animation. So here, I'm trying to get out without using my ulti. I'm ready to use it if I have to. But assuming I can get out and still have it, then that's better, right? So you give the push, shove, attempt, and if you see I'm stuck, then you ulti. That's how you want to do it. Instead of just prematurely ulting there, you might as well see if you can get out without wasting it. Now again here, I can be a bit less conservative with items, for example, because I know that the one thing I can't get here is a boss spawn. I can't get that until the next area, so I can take my time here, use the bear roll. And always you want to be aware, okay, if an assassin spawns here, for example, where do I go? Where do I go? It depends on which side I hear it from, for example. So the assassin really only has 3 locations it can come from. It can come from straight ahead across the river. It can come from up the mountain where the Grim is. And it can come from behind. So the direction here to the right where we just came from. Of the 3, I would say 9 out of 10 times the assassin is going to spawn on the mountain. For whatever reason, on the right side, it's unlikely that the special is going to spawn, because the spawn isn't in the middle of the map. The spawn is always sort of outside the map, and because of the river, it's hard to explain, but like when you're all the way here, it's rare that an assassin would spawn from behind. I struggle, I'm not sure how to put it, but most of the times they can come from behind here, but that's mostly specials that have already spawned on the way, like that gas rat, for example. That didn't spawn over there, it was already there. So, from when I was further back, right? And so most of the time when you're in this area, specials are that you hear spawn here are most of the time gonna come from up on the mountain. You can see that came up from the mountain. So did the assassin? Well, I don't know where it is at the moment. I don't hear it, so I assumed that it wasn't pouching me, right? Because I should have heard that. Sometimes you doubt your own hearing, right? Sometimes you're like, but what if I just didn't hear it? Now I decide to move out into the open here. It's not the best position to fight in here, really.
Don't let it cook you.
So there we got the Strangler. But the good thing about being here, as far as specials go, disablers specifically, is that specials can only come from 2 locations, and they're both in my visual field. They can't come from behind when that path is locked, and if, you know, if straightforward here was locked, then they couldn't come from over there. So I know if a special spawns that it's gonna be straight ahead. That makes me feel safe as far as the fight goes, even though it's not a great spot for dodging around minions here. It still makes me, it gives me a bit of comfort that I know that, you know, it can only come from so many places. And always when you have one of those specials, you want to keep your ultimate ready here. This gets a bit tricky. Not exactly pretty. Now here I'm nervous, right? Here I'm like, oh shit, fuck. I'm 1 attack away. I decide to play it as safe as possible. I hate fighting. These are the most annoying minions in the game, okay? Trash, Beastman minions, they kill, like, oh my god, they are the worst when you True Solo. It's the worst. Now here I actually make a mistake. That one shot that I just missed cost me dearly. Now, why did it cost me dearly? Well, because it forced me out of position here. Could have probably fallen back if I really wanted to. I would have taken damage. But as you can see, I have no extra healing, so I want to be conservative with my health, right? I see if I can like be right here without... Nope. So it actually forces me into a not terrible position yet, but also I like to take my time when you have like a ledge. It's a good place to wait a little bit for the spawns, let them come to you, draw out the worst. Now obviously I know this is an area where I can't get a boss spawn, right? I did not see him. That makes me again a bit nervous, right? No healing, 1 attack away from death. That means the pressure's on. And that's where the Minotaur spawns. Of course it had to be a Minotaur, right? Of course it had to be a Minotaur. And so here, I'm essentially trying to do a little bit of recon. I'm like, okay, I have to find some healing. If I don't find some healing, I'm dead. There's poor visibility here as far as dodging the actual Minotaur. I know there's a wall up ahead here. I'm just trying to clear the area out a bit here. Trying to be in the open in a spot where I can actually see the Minotaur. Packmaster spawned. Again, just searching for healing here, really. Out of stamina, playing it really careful. Decide to heal up as soon as that block was broken. Otherwise, I would have been one shot away from dying. Thankfully, I find some healing. That was an awkward dodge, but it worked out nonetheless. So what do you do here? Now, this is a tricky one, right? It's really no different in principle from what we did earlier with the Chaos Spawn. You want to take it slow and safe, damage the Minotaur a little bit at a time. Try to make as few mistakes as possible. Again, no mistakes. Making no mistakes is the road to victory, right? To some degree. Because you do still have the problem of actually dealing damage, right? You're not making any progress unless the Minotaur is taking some amount of damage. And over time, mistakes will happen. But I'm trying here to play it as safe as I dare. Whoops. Not sure exactly why I did that. That was a little bit aggressive. Again, whenever you don't have your ultimate ready, you are in the danger zone, right? Ouch, that hurt. Just using my vanish there. Again, this is one of those spots where could I dodge it? Maybe. Am I gonna take the risk? Hell no! I could have probably waited up on the cliff a little bit longer in hindsight. Let him come a little bit closer to me. So I could have done a bit more damage. But really, I'm trying to use the spacing between those two locations. Move in a circle, get the space from that. Clear everything out slowly and, you know, slowly get some DPS in on the Minotaur. Now, it's always unfortunate when you get Assassin Strangler spawn right after you pop your ulti, right? That stresses you out a bit. Especially when you also have a Minotaur there. Ulti here. Now, I was ready for that Strangler. The feed didn't show... Oh, it hurts to watch. Like, I didn't even hear the second one spawn. One spawns, one assassin spawns. Unfortunately, the True Solo mod isn't always accurate. Did you hear that? Kill the hook rat. I assumed the voice line was just from the first one spawning, but it was from the second one spawning. Right, so I was prepared for that one, right? I knew it was there. This is when I realized the second one, right? And I'm like, oh fuck. I tried to time the dodge, right? But right as I tried to do that, the goddamn Minotaur comes in between, and I managed to dodge it, but not the Strangler. And yeah, so unfortunately it was a loss. So here we have Dark Omens. I think I did like, no joke, 40 attempts of True Solo on Dark Omens. Now, some runs I got a decent way, but like, my god, do I feel like this map is just trying to troll me, right? Which is good practice. Let's be like, it's good practice, but my god, sometimes you feel like I played it perfectly, right? They're really that. It's like I was so conservative, right? I did everything right, one step at a time. I clear everything out. I just killed a whole patrol, right? I dodged all specials. I played it so perfect, right? I hit one trigger, and in 0.5 seconds, 3 assassins and a strangler in my face, right? Of which you managed to kill 2, dodge 1 strangler, but the 3rd assassin hits you, right? Right on your blind angle, right? And it's just the worst feeling, okay? It's... You usually almost get a couple. I had a clip once where we had 7 assassins spawn here, which shouldn't even be possible. Let me just say that. That shouldn't even be possible. But you always get something like, roughly speaking, 8 to 10 special spawns in this area here. 1 cataclysm, that is.
The rattling is dead. That's all. I was hoping for an explosion.
Now, most of my attempts, I would have quickly moved out of the cave. But here, I was like, you know what? I am recording. Why not? Let's give it a shot, right? See what happens. I wouldn't recommend doing that if you're trying to actually win. If you're trying to win, that was a very bad idea. But it's like, hell no, if I'm gonna be a pussy. You do have a few problems by being in this cave. One of those problems are stranglers. Because if you get a strangler at the same time as a bunch of minions, then it's very hard to counter if you don't have your ultimate ready. And even if you do, you can miss the attack very easily when there's like a minion density that's high enough. Even with the execute mechanic and guaranteed crit. I've had that happen so many times in these runs. Where I'm like, I'm lighting it, like, you'll see that clip later, where I was way further than this and on the same map, and I was so mad about that loss. I was so mad. Like some losses, you're like, no worries, right? I just got overwhelmed. I made a mistake. I understand. I know what I have to do better next run. And then sometimes you just feel like Vermintide goes, you need to lose now. Sometimes it's like, I've made this joke before in a meme montage video. Sometimes it's like Vermintide goes, yeah, how about fuck no? Think you can choose it. You know, where it's just like literally out of nowhere, it just goes 4 specials, disablers, like just arrive in like a split second. And how about we also just give you like 4 beastie gores all charging you exactly in sync with an assassin jumping you, huh? How about that? Would you like that? Again, normally, if you're trying to win, you don't want to bother fighting these beastmen. Because beastmen trash minions, like fighting beastmen trash minions on a shade is like a sure way to get punched in the face. Especially in Chaos Wastes in the beginning. I've done a bit of True Solo Cataclysm on Chaos Wastes as well, seeing if I could get anywhere. And it gets somewhere, just not all the way, unfortunately. Someday. Woo. But again, I don't want to. This wasn't playing it to win. It's not that I wasn't trying to win. Of course I was trying to win. But if that was all I cared about, I would not have, you know, stuck around to kill stuff this much, right? Then I would have just avoided all this stuff and focused my attentions on bosses and specials and nothing else. But that's boring to look at. So we're about to get to the loss up here. This is one of those moments, okay, where Vermintide was like, you need to lose now. You know, at this point I'm feeling pretty good about myself, you know, I just killed an assassin, just killed the strangler, I heal the hot spawn, I like spot the healing there. I'm like, life is good right now. Right now, life is good. I have a good position here, I can start clearing all of this, you know, now life is good in this moment. In this moment, life is amazing. See, I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna clear this. You know, why not? I have a good position here to do it from. I have the healing for it. Like, I'm gonna take my time, you know? Clear out all the trash here. It's great. Life is good. Life is not so good. Life is mediocre. Life is, oh fuck. Life is. Let's rewatch that in slow motion. Let's take a look here in half speed. Okay, so we get 1, 2, 3 assassins. Okay, so 3 assassins. We have that info, right? We didn't get... Oh, there we got the Strangler info, as it's literally appearing, right? So, in my mind, like, there are only 2 angles they can come from. That's the good news here, right? Bad news is I don't know how far away they are. Here, I knew I wasn't gonna get that dodge, so I invest. Okay? Think about the information I have here, right? So, assassin... Whoop, okay. In my head, 1 assassin right behind me. 1 in front here. I know the assassin is very likely gonna turn around and come back, 'cause that's how assassins work, right? I go for the kill here, you see, I notice the other assassin here, I'm like, perfect. I'm gonna get the double assassin kill here, and the Strangler, and the 3rd assassin, haven't seen it yet, haven't heard of it yet. It's probably coming running up the mountain behind somewhere. And it was just way closer than I had anticipated, and I didn't proc vanish. So that's what happened. Now this is 44.5 minutes. We're not gonna watch all of it. Let's watch it from here. And remember, you always learn more from your failures than you do from your victories. This is a fact. Barrel place, obviously. Now here again, you're trying to collect everything on one side of you. You're trying to get an overview of where specials are. As soon as the assassin spawned, there's a second one. You're trying to find it. It avoided my... It did like one of those assassin moves where it switched direction. Right now I'm in a tough spot, right? Okay, I hear both of them behind me. So I use the barrel there to my advantage. Let's take a look at this in half speed. Okay, what happens? 2 assassins. Okay, I see one, I go for it, but it does like, it changes pathing, right? Right when I try to get a guaranteed crit heavy on it. Now, because I don't know, I know there's another assassin, and I don't know where they are. In case they're right behind me, I throw the bomb, right? So that the assassin dies, if it was that close. I hear both the assassins behind me and the Strangler, right? Now, the reason I punched the barrel there is pretty straightforward. Let's say the assassin had hit me here, barrel explode, assassin off, right? It's like a failsafe. I managed to dodge it, though. I don't see the other assassin until I jump down. Now I'm like, fuck, I'm in trouble. It's gonna pounce me, right? So I go for the second assassin and hope to kill it. I just managed to shoot the first one, push it, and dodge there. Somehow I'm honestly, I have no... How did I think that was probably pretty lucky, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like, that move right there. Now, I thought I had already hit the other assassin with my... But I hadn't. And it didn't die, so... Let's see what other bullshit we got. Oh yeah, instant triple assassin spawn up here. I told you, this is not uncommon. Happens quite often, in fact. Calculated? No. Calculator! Calculator! There's nothing you can tell me to convince me it wasn't. Obviously. Whenever you get hit by assassin, not your fault. Not your fault. Whenever you dodge it perfectly out of nowhere, calculate it, okay? That's how that works. That was so awkward. Right, so not only had I just killed 3 assassins, right? Just killed 3 assassins. And then a few moments later, I get 3 more assassins. Right, I wasn't prepared for 3 more assassins, I'll admit that. So I think one of them is behind me, and that's the one I hadn't accounted for. I see that one there. Yeah, and It's like, what do you want to do, right? What are you gonna do? Like, you literally just killed 3 assassins and a bunch more, and then just, I thought I had all the triggers, right? And then just out of nowhere, 3 more. You see, this is like a very common thing that happens here, that you just get blasted with assassins. And you need to find a way to isolate those assassins. Then you just slowly take your time with the rest. You see, 2 more assassins. Goddamn guess. Ooh. I believe I was actually using decanter for this run. Yeah, I was. And I had an extra bomb, so I thought, you know what, fuck it. 15-second strength pot, double bomb. And no more patrol.
There's a runner in the shadows.
I just heard very many stranglers. Ulti, try to locate them. When I fail to locate them, then I'm on a timer, right? So I need to get my ultimate ready, and I need to get it ready now. So I don't know where the stranglers are. Oh, that was close. I got Shady. Oh, just managed to dodge that. That was not by the book. A little bit messier than I would have liked it to be. We did manage. I thought about going for that backstab there, right? But if I had hit a minion on the side, I would have instant died. It's a good way to get value from the Moonfire explosive.
Straggler comes. Kill it swiftly.
Again, as soon as you hear disablers, you need to fight stuff to get your ultimate back, if it's not already off cooldown. Because it's like your failsafe. Now, I actually think I managed to get that dodge, but I wasn't prepared at all for the Strangler being that close. Like, by the time I heard it, it was literally next to me. So that's why I panicked a little bit when I saw it.
Don't let it touch you.
Now, positioning is everything when it comes to assassins, and part of that is map knowledge. Now, this is, whoops, a spot you saw me use earlier as well. Oh no, wait, sorry, that was further up the hill. But this is a really good spot. Ledges are really good for assassins, because again, the pathing is going to be difficult from behind here, which means they're going to crawl up like this, which gives you an easy assassin kill. See, as soon as I see the other assassin spawn, I move straight back to the ledge here, try to locate it. I know it's down there, so I know it's going to come crawling up here. Ooh, easy assassin kill. That did not go how I envisioned it. And then I even got the accidental hit there. Oh, that was not pretty. And then I get a gas spawn. I was not gonna stick around that barrel with this amount of HP. Again, in this situation, it's all on panic mode. Like, I need healing and I need it now. So really, I'm using all my resources trying to find some goddamn healing. because with 4 HP, I'm a dead man. I believe I went in a big circle here. I found nothing. Oh yeah, I remember this. If I had the timing better here. This is a risky move with 4 HP. I should have shot it again. I got the timing wrong with my... That would have worked if I'd had 1 second more of invis. 1 second more of invis, and that would have been a double push. Again, sometimes you gotta get creative. Boom, headshot. Now I managed to get a little bit further. In this run here. And this is the last clip we're gonna watch. Hopefully something to learn. Again, all I'm trying here is locate the assassin, take it out, create some space. Again, you want to be intelligent in how, what, when, and where you pick fights here. Because you can't just dodge around in circles and kill stuff. That's never going to work. Like, you're going to get into a bad spot or stuff like that's going to happen, right? Although, that was a mistake on my part. Alright, patience there, letting the assassin come to me. Here, again, playing it safe. Instead, using the barrel. Clear out all of the trash. Or as much of it as possible, at least. Using the rock here for positioning. Sometimes all you need to buy is a second, 2 seconds, just enough to get your ulti. I ulted there because I heard the assassin behind me and I didn't have visual confirmation, right? So I didn't know if the assassin was literally about to pounce and I didn't want to risk that. Here I decided the best way to get some space here was with the fire. Again, using the rock formation. Again, Vermintide is so much about movement. One thing are the fundamentals of what attacks you're using, but you can't fight properly without proper movement. Movement is like, it's kind of like how in Counter-Strike they say that movement is part of your aim, right? That your aim and your movement are tied together. And here it's the same, both with your aim and with your combat, right? Because you need to be in positions to recognize where the specials are, to have line of sight, and to not get overwhelmed so that you can actually take the shot. Again, here you want to use the advantage of the ledger. 3 stranglers. That's a lot of stranglers. I will go there because I wasn't sure if I got the dodge. Boom, boom, boom. No more Stranglerino. Assassins quite often come from behind here. Again, you can use... Oh, this is actually a good tip here. Okay, so for example here, right? I know, again, assassin technically it can come from down here or up here. I know it's very likely it's going to come from here. I can't tell you, it's just a matter of experience. Often when you get assassins here, they always come from behind. Don't ask me why, they just do. But what you can do here, for example, is, again, this tree here, right? This tree right here gives you an avenue of safety, right? Because I know if the assassin comes from there, I need only go to the left here, and boom, its path is blocked, right? So it can't hit me. And yeah, just one of those tiny things where you can actually have cover from afar, almost. I hate this area. that hill is a place to die on. This, I don't know what I was thinking. What was I thinking? That was like, wow, that was stupid, but what was I thinking? Okay, I must have been tired at this point. Like, what was I thinking? That was like an obvious bad idea. Like, what was I thinking? Like, here, I should have moved out here, take one attack, drop down. Like, what was I thinking to do it from there? Maybe I got stuck, I don't know. Okay, don't do that. Like, that was like, wow, that was stupid. Guess we all make mistakes. But wow, that was just against all common sense to move into that position and take that attack. As soon as I get a double assassin here, I'm a bit nervous. Not gonna lie. Need to locate them as fast as possible. Again, the sabers always come first. You can't really relax and kill stuff calmly when there are disablers around, right? Unless you know exactly where they are. Again, here, against the Stormfiend, like I talked about earlier, really, you're not in a hurry to kill it, right? So it's not gonna regen. It's not really an immediate threat to you in of itself. As long as you don't get pinned down by its flames, then it's actually helping you clear everything out. So the safest way to find a Stormfiend here is slowly. Slowly, take your time, use its fire for your, like, to your advantage. Whew. That almost went, that almost went really wrong. It's always the worst when you ulti, and then the moment you go in this at assassin spawn, you're always like, bruh, could you not have spawned like literally a second earlier and I just wouldn't have used my ulti and I could feel safe in life? Thankfully I got a good shot in there from a distance. Sometimes it's really like the assassins, or a Vermintide, like it's like it knows. It's like, ha, he just ultied assassin! It really feels like that sometimes, although that's likely not the case. Again, here, just no stress. Plenty of flaming rats here. Don't want to take too much damage if I can avoid it. They're all killing each other anyways. Just looking at my fine-ass bow. This was not great. Stop it. Got into a slightly bad position there. I think I thought I could have made it over. And to the other side of the Stormfiend. Got a Strangler here. You see, isolate the Strangler. Again, one way to isolate a special is to move heavily in one direction, right? Because it is actually a really good point, and something that's really important to know when you True Solo. Let's say you have an Assassin or a Strangler spawn, right? One way, if you're in a position where you're like, I need to know where it is and I need to know it now, right? Then one thing you can do is just start rushing to one side. Because what that does is one of two things. Either that's the side the assassin is coming from, or the Strangler is coming from, which allows you to isolate its position really quickly, right? Because you go that direction. If it's coming towards you, you're going to reach each other really quickly. And so you're going to know where it is, you're going to be prepared for it because you're looking that direction. If it's not that direction, if it's the opposite way it's coming from, well, then you're very quickly going to be able to eliminate the side you're going, right? Because you're going that way. You don't see it this way yet. So even if there are corners, you're like, okay, it would have arrived to me by now, right? So by moving really heavily to one side, you can know that, okay, I got here, I still don't see the assassin in front of me. Okay, it must be behind me, right? You can isolate the angle by heavily moving to one side. And it's really useful as well, because assuming you pick the wrong side, aka the side it's not coming from, then it's saving you, then it's giving you time, because you're moving away from it, right? So that delays giving you time to get your ultimate up, for example. Just, yeah, something to think about. And make sure to also use your targeting, right? As soon as I hear a Strangler spawn, I'll start spamming target in the distance, right? From all the places I know it could come from, to see if there's a hit, right? Because you can't always hear it and you can't always see it. The reason I moved on here was because I didn't feel comfortable having no healing, and I was hoping that I would find some here. Fortunately, I didn't, which was a bummer. Again, I needed space here, and I needed healing, and I needed it quickly out. Here I'm just buying time to get my ulti. As soon as I have my ulti, I can feel slightly safe. I can sort of... I don't have to worry too much because I have the failsafe, but now I have no ulti, right? And it's gonna be a while until I get it. That's why I drank the strength pot. I was like, okay, I need to kill some of this shit. I need to fight here to get my ulti back. If I don't do that, all the specials are gonna arrive and I'm gonna have no ulti. And there are too many minions for me to actually kill them. So many banners. Which ultimately, to some degree, were gonna be my downfall. Not entirely, but... Oh! That's so unlucky! Okay, I was so pissed, okay? I was so pissed about that. Alright. Oh, wait, I'll show you. This is the final one. This is from a separate run, okay?
There's a runner in the shadows.
I thought did you see that? Literally, as I'm throwing the bomb, the assassin jumps toward me. Right? And what I don't realize is that, you see, I think the assassin's right in front of me, but I actually dodged it through the bomb. The bomb went downhill and thus further away, whilst the assassin moved behind me. So my bomb didn't even stagger the assassin. I didn't realize that. I thought at a minimum the assassin has been staggered, right? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Copenhagen Airport. Local time is 15 minutes past 3 and the temperature is a comfortable minus 46 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign. This will indicate that we have been parked at the gate and that it is safe for you to move about. On behalf of me and the entire crew, I would like to thank you for choosing Dagger Airlines as your YouTube service. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget we're doing a Bless This Many Players event tonight at 21. That's right, at 9 o'clock. And as always, I love you guys. Stay awesome. Peace out. Pa 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 pa.